Life has a funny way of showing us that people come and go. We form bonds, connect with others, and tie our emotions to those relationships. But what happens when those bonds snap? How do you handle the emotional weight when someone disappears from your life, or you realize they never felt the same way about you? Maybe it's a breakup, a falling out, or just the feeling that someone doesn't value you the way you thought they did. It's tough, right? You feel angry, sad, confused, like a part of you is missing. But what if I told you that there's a way to take control of that pain? Detach emotionally and stop letting others drain your energy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, has wisdom that can help you free yourself from the emotional chaos. Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you how to apply 7 Stoic rules to emotionally detach from anyone and reclaim your peace of mind. Let's dive in. Rule 1. Embrace impermanence. When you refuse to accept the fact that nothing lasts forever, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. You cling to people, moments, and feelings like they're permanent. You think things will stay the same forever, but when they inevitably change or disappear, you're blindsided by the emotional storm. I've been there. I had a friendship that I thought would last forever. We shared everything, but over time, things shifted. The connection faded. I resisted it, holding on to the past, and it was like trying to clutch sand in my hands. The harder I squeezed, the faster it slipped away. I was left holding on to nothing but frustration. Marcus Aurelius warned us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Accept that change is inevitable. Don't try to force permanence in relationships or situations. Life is fleeting, and when you embrace that truth, you'll stop fighting it. Understand that every relationship has its season, and when it's over, it's time to let go. Only then will you free yourself from unnecessary pain and regain control over your life. Stop holding on and start living in the present, knowing that everything is temporary. Rule 2. Master emotions through rational thought. When you let your emotions control you, you're a slave to them. Every time someone hurts you, disrespects you, or does something you don't like, your emotions take over and wreak havoc on your peace of mind. You react impulsively, saying things you don't mean, doing things you regret. It's exhausting, and it destroys your mental clarity. I've been there too. A person I trusted deeply betrayed me, and my immediate reaction was pure rage. I wanted to lash out, scream, and make them feel what I felt, but I stopped. I forced myself to take a breath and think. I realized that my anger wasn't going to change the situation. It was only going to make me miserable. I made a choice to detach from the emotion and focus on what I could control, my response. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You can't always control how others behave, but you can control how you react. Train your mind to pause before acting. Think logically, separate yourself from the emotional chaos, and approach the situation with clarity. Stop letting your feelings drive you. When you master your emotions, you're not only detaching from people, but also from unnecessary suffering. Take control, or your emotions will control you. Rule 3. Practice negative visualization. You think you're ready for a relationship, a friendship, a situation, but deep down you're clinging to this idea that everything will be perfect. When it falls apart, it's like a punch to the gut. Your expectations were shattered, and now you're left with disappointment, pain, and frustration. You were too attached to the outcome, and now you're paying the price. I learned this the hard way. I invested too much hope in someone only to have them let me down. I never considered the possibility that it might not work out. The pain was unbearable, but then I realized I didn't prepare myself for the worst, and that's why it hurt so much. When you expect only good, anything less than that hits you like a wrecking ball. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Stop living in a fantasy. Start visualizing the worst-case scenario and prepare yourself for it. If the worst happens, you'll be ready. You'll detach from the emotional roller coaster because you won't be caught off guard. It's not about being negative. It's about being prepared and realizing that no situation, no person, is guaranteed. Expect the worst, but hope for the best. That way, nothing will shake you. Rule 4. Focus on what you can control. You know those moments when someone's actions or words just eat away at you? You get caught up in their behavior, trying to figure out why they did what they did, letting it take over your entire day. I've been there. You let their actions trigger something inside you, and before you know it, you're spending hours replaying their behavior, trying to control the outcome. But let me tell you, wasting your time on things you can't control is just a losing battle. I've experienced this myself. A while back, someone I trusted completely let me down. Instead of moving on, I got obsessed, trying to figure out their motives, how I could change things or why they did it. Guess what? It didn't make a damn difference. I was drained, angry, and felt powerless. Marcus Aurelius nails it. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Here's the deal. You can't control other people's actions or attitudes, but you can control how you respond. I learned that the hard way. The moment I stopped trying to change someone else's behavior and focused on how I chose to react, that's when I got my power back. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you ride the waves. Focus on your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. That's where your strength lies. Rule 5. Reflect on the bigger picture. You know what it's like. You're stuck in a situation and it feels like your entire world is falling apart. One argument with a friend, a missed chance at work, or something that doesn't go the way you wanted. And suddenly it feels like everything's ruined. I've been there. I remember getting so wrapped up in one bad conversation, I couldn't see anything beyond it. I obsessed over it for days. It felt like the only thing that mattered. Then I took a step back and thought about it. Was this really all that important? Was this one moment going to affect my life a year from now? Or even a month from now? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. And as soon as I realized that, the weight of it all just lifted. Marcus Aurelius nailed it when he said, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." Here's how you do it. When life hits you with a tough moment, zoom out. Look at the bigger picture. Don't let one bad event define your day, your week, or even your life. Put it in perspective. If this situation won't matter in the grand scheme of your life, let it go. Keep moving forward. Life's too short to get stuck on one small thing. Rule 6. Detach from praise and criticism. You ever feel on top of the world after someone praises you, then crash when you hear one bad word about you? It's happened to me too. One minute I'm feeling like a boss because of a compliment, and the next, I'm spiraling because of some random negative comment. It's like a constant roller coaster, right? Here's the truth. Living like that isn't freedom. It's dangerous to let other people control how you feel. If you let praise pump you up and criticism tear you down, you're giving away your power. I've been there, feeling amazing one moment, completely worthless the next. It's exhausting. Marcus Aurelius hit the nail on the head when he said, "Don't hanker after what you don't have. Use what you have." And look at how people in the past handled these things. The key: stop depending on others' opinions. When people praise you, don't let it boost your ego. Appreciate it, but move on. When someone criticizes you, don't take it personally. Learn from it if you can, but don't let it break you. The only thing that should dictate your worth is your own values, your own actions. So, take back control. Focus on what you can control and let the rest roll off you. Rule 7. Strengthen inner resilience. Let me ask you this. How do you handle setbacks? Do you crumble under pressure? I've been there, feeling defeated when life throws curveballs. There was a time when even small failures would knock me off my game. I'd overthink, get angry, and waste energy on things I couldn't change. It left me drained and frustrated. This is what happens when you don't build your inner strength. Life will keep testing you. Challenges won't stop showing up just because you wish they wouldn't. If you're not resilient, every hit will feel like the end of the world. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. I remember a time when I lost a project I worked on for months. I was furious, blaming others, the situation, even myself. But in the chaos, I realized something. My reaction wasn't fixing anything. I had to decide: keep breaking down or rebuild myself stronger. That's when I started focusing on what I could control, my mindset. I began journaling every night, reflecting on the lessons from each setback. Slowly, I saw my failures differently. They weren't defeats, they were training grounds. Build habits that strengthen you: exercise, mindfulness, daily reflection. Learn from every failure instead of sulking over it. Life is a mental battlefield, and resilience is your armor. Don't just survive, thrive through it all. You've got what it takes, but you've got to build it. Life is messy. People will hurt you, disappoint you, and sometimes vanish without warning. But here's the truth. You don't have to be a prisoner to those emotions. The Stoics have shown us that detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about reclaiming your power. When you embrace impermanence, master your emotions, and focus on what you can control, you free yourself from the chains of attachment. When you practice resilience, reflect on the bigger picture, and detach from others' opinions, you'll realize the only validation you truly need is your own. So here's your challenge. Stop wasting your energy on people who don't value you or situations you can't control. Take these Stoic rules and start applying them today. Yes, today. You don't need permission to take back your peace of mind. It's yours, and it's waiting for you to claim it. Now I want to hear from you. Which point touched your mind the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. Remember, you're stronger than your emotions, tougher than your setbacks, and more powerful than you realize. Go out there, detach, and live like a Stoic warrior. You've got this.